Equal Employment Opportunity Program Manager here at the VA Medical Center. I will be serving as the MC for today's celebration. Will you please rise for the invocation by Chaplain Sean Below.
Well, thank you for the opportunity to bless you today. I just want to say thank you to all who have served this country, who have blessed us and protected our freedoms. So receive this prayer as a prayer or even as a meditation. God of peace, goodness, and healing, we give you thanks for the devotion and courage of all those who have offered military service to this country. For those who have fought for freedom, for those who have laid down their lives for others, for those who have borne suffering of mind or of body, and for those who have brought their best gifts in times of need. On our behalf, they have entered into danger, endured separation for those they love, and labored long hours and borne hardship in war and peacetime. May their courage, may their sacrifice, and may their service remind and help us all to walk in and pursue the values of justice, of freedom, and of service to others, not just ourselves. And we acknowledge that we do not know all of what this day brings for these veterans. We do not know all of their stories, but each one of them is important. May any who need have peace. May any who need find healing. And may any who need find the good. And for all those who have served and continue to serve, may they be blessed and truly honored. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain. You may all take your seats. The Director of the Memphis VA Medical Center, retired U.S. Army Colonel David Donnell, will now give the opening remarks for today's ceremony.
All right, good morning. In these unique times, this is kind of a unique way to do it, but we seem to be reaching larger and larger audiences because of this, because there are people who can't be here, and because we're forced to do this, to reach even the people that are always around us, we're actually reaching a bigger audience, so what a great format. Hello, I'm David Dunning. I'm the Director of the VA Medical Center, and as Mr. Holman said, I'm also a fellow veteran after 30 years in the United States Army that I left in May of 2017. Before I go on, I want to make sure everybody knows that tomorrow is also a historic event. Tomorrow is the birthday of the Marine Corps. So let's go ahead and celebrate that, and then the next day we'll celebrate Veterans Day. On Veterans Day in 1988, Ronald Reagan said, and I quote, "You remember those who were called upon to give all a person can give, and remember those who were prepared to make the sacrifice if it were demanded of them in the line of duty," end quote. Veterans Day is a day when together we pause to reflect on America's veterans, the country's best men and women who have served and sacrificed while wearing the uniform of the nation, those who have defended our country in peace and in war. We honor you, our veterans. You are the peacemakers and the peacekeepers, ordinary citizens who accomplished extraordinary things. You are sentries who guarded the greatest political experiment the world has ever known, our representative democracy. You're among many who gave the vital years of your life in service to this country. You are strangers we might pass in the street and who are ready to sacrifice your life for the lives of others. You are our brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, moms, dads, neighbors, friends, and colleagues. You have been our protectors and our defenders. You represent the 41 million who have put on the uniform since the first shots were fired at Lexington Green in April of 1775, and the 19.2 million living among us today. Every American is a beneficiary of your vigilance and valor provided by you. Your contributions to our way of life are immeasurable. At the VA Medical Center and throughout the Department of Veterans Affairs, every day is Veterans Day. It is a privilege to deliver the veterans the programs and the services they have earned. On behalf of more than the 2,500 employees of the Memphis VA Medical Center, I am proud to extend our heartfelt appreciation and thanks to your service to us and to the United States of America. Thank you. God bless you, your families, and this great nation.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Donnell Wright, the Equal Employment Opportunity Program Manager at the Army Corps of Engineers, will now come forward and read the purpose and history of Veterans Day.
Good morning. Veterans Day originated as Armistice Day on November 11, 1919, the first anniversary of the end of World War I. Congress passed a resolution in 1926 for an annual observance, and November 11th became a national holiday beginning in 1938. Unlike Memorial Day, Veterans Day pays tribute to all American veterans, living or dead, but especially gives thanks to living veterans who served their country honorably during war or peacetime. Veterans Day occurs November 11th every year in the United States in honor of the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month of 1918 that signaled the end of World War I, known as Armistice Day. In 1954, President Dwight D. Eisenhower officially changed the name of the holiday from Armistice Day to Veterans Day. In 1968, the Uniform Holidays Bill was passed by Congress, which moved the celebration of Veterans Day to the fourth Monday in October. The law went into effect in 1971, but in 1975, President Gerald Ford returned Veterans Day to November 11th due to the important historical significance of the day. Every Veterans Day and Memorial Day, Arlington National Cemetery holds an annual memorial service. The cemetery is home to the graves of over 400,000 people, most of whom served in the military. The military men and women who serve to protect the U.S. come from all walks of life. They are parents, children, grandparents, friends, neighbors, and co-workers, and are an important part of their communities. Here are some facts about the veteran population of the United States. This was back a few years ago. 18.2 million living veterans served during at least one war as of 2018. 9% of veterans are women. 3 million veterans have served in support of war on terrorism. Of the 16 million Americans who served during World War II, approximately 496,777 were still alive as of 2018. 2 million veterans served during the Korean War. President Ronald Reagan said, "Veterans know better than anyone else the price of freedom, for they have suffered the scars of war. We can offer them no better tribute than to protect them what they have won for us." Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wright. Colonel Zachary L. Miller assumed the command of the Memphis District in July 19, 2019. As Memphis District Commander, he is responsible for flood damage reduction, navigation, environmental stewardship, emergency operations, other authorized civil works, and works for others along 610 miles of Mississippi River and the Wright River, encompassing a 25,000 square mile area in 6 states, Illinois, Missouri, Arkansas, Kentucky, Tennessee, and Mississippi. Colonel Miller is a native of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and graduated from the United States Military Academy and was commissioned in the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers in 1997. His civilian education includes a Bachelor of Science degree from USMA, a Master of Public Administration from Harvard Kennedy School of Government, a Master of Public Policy from the University of Missouri. His military education includes Engineer, Officer Basic, and Advanced courses, the Command and General Staff College, the School of Advanced Military Studies. He completed Senior Service College as a 2017 Secretary of Defense Executive Fellow. Colonel Miller's command assignments include command of the Combat Engineer Company in the 1st Cavalry Division, the 21st Engineer Battalion, 101st Airborne Division, the 5th Battalion, and 1st Security Forces Assistant Brigade. Colonel Miller's key staff assignments include Operations Officer for the 20th Engineer Brigade, Executive Officer for the 27th Engineer Battalion, Planner for U.S. Forces Iraq, Headquarters G3, 5, and 7, Strategist at the Pentagon, and Engineer Staff Officer for the 8th Army in the Republic of Korea. His initial assignment was the 92nd Engineer Battalion, where he served as Platoon Leader, Company Executive Officer, Battalion Construction Officer. Colonel Miller's military awards include the Bronze Star Medal, Purple Heart, Defense Meritorious Service Medal, Meritorious Service Medal, Joint Commendation Medal, Army Commendation Medal, Army Achievement Medal, Iraq and Afghanistan Campaign Medals, Korean Defense Service Medal, Military Outstanding Volunteer Service Medal, NATO Service Medal, Army Staff Identification Badge, Combat Action Badge, Master Parachute Badge, and Air Assault Badge. Colonel Miller and his wife, Beth, are the proud parents of Nathaniel, age 14, Evelyn, age 11. After this song, which is dedicated to all the veterans, the next voice you will hear is that of Colonel Zachary L. Miller.
If tomorrow all the things are gone, work for my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife, lay my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom, and it can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I'm glad you stand up next to you when the dinner's here today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, we see the shining sea. From Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say, and I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave them right to me. And I'm glad they stand up next to you when the dinner's here today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. And I'm proud to be an American, where I'll gladly stand up next to you when the river's still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless, love you, yes,
Well, good morning, and first of all, thank you, Donnell, for that. I always enjoy hearing you sing, and I always despise having to speak or do anything after you sing. Absolutely phenomenal. I really appreciate that. And let me also start by expressing my gratitude to Director Dunning, to the entire team here for inviting me, and also for all the work that went to putting this event on. I'd also like to say a warm welcome to those who are able to watch us on video, both at the VA Medical Center and, of course, in the Memphis District of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. I enjoy all of these opportunities to speak and to talk about veterans, to talk about being a soldier in the Army. Of course, it's especially meaningful to be here among so many other veterans and in a place whose purpose is to serve veterans. And even though I know everyone here knows what the VA's mission and what their vision are, I think it bears repeating on a day like today because this is at the heart of what this holiday represents where we are right now. To fulfill President Lincoln's promise to care for him who shall have borne the battle, and for his widow and his orphan by serving and honoring the men and women who are America's veterans. The mission the vision to provide veterans the world-class benefits and services they have earned, and to do so by adhering to the highest standards of compassion, commitment, excellence, professionalism, integrity, accountability, and stewardship. You know, in his first proclamation on Veterans Day as President Obama reminded us that we have a sacred trust with those who wear the uniform of the United States. From the Minutemen who stood watch over Lexington and Concord, to the service members who served in Iraq and Afghanistan, American veterans deserve our deepest appreciation and respect. Our nation's servicemen and women are the best and the brightest, enlisting in times of peace and in times of war, serving with honor under the most difficult of circumstances, and making sacrifices that many cannot begin to imagine. Today we reflect upon the individual invaluable contributions of our country's veterans, and we reaffirm our commitment to provide them and their families with the essential support that they were promised and that they have earned. Now, the Veterans Administration is dedicated to that imperative, so before I go any further, I just want to again say thank you for everything that you do, sir, the entire team here, for all of America's veterans. And I firmly believe that America's veterans are our most precious natural treasure. The contributions of the men and women who've worn this uniform of all the military's branches are immeasurable. It's only fitting that we pause again this November 11th to honor their service and their sacrifice. And in an era where many people have a hard time explaining the meaning or the symbolism of our secular holidays, Veterans Day stands out as one firmly connected to its origins and its purpose. Even though I think many in the audience today and those listening know this, I think it's worth retelling it because it is so visceral and has so much strong meaning to those who have worn the uniform. The time was 5 a.m., November 11th, 1918. The place was a railroad car drawn up in a siding in the forest of Campania, northeast of Paris. Representatives from the victorious Allies and the defeated Central Powers placed their signatures on the agreement that ended the shooting of World War I, which was the most cataclysmic event that mankind had yet experienced. Later that same day, at precisely 11 a.m., the bugle call to cease firing sounded, and for the first time in 4 years, the unaccustomed silence of a world at peace replaced the thunder and lightning of a world that had been rent by war. It had been a terribly costly upheaval. All of the participating nations had suffered great losses. Of the nearly 5 million Americans who served, more than 53,000 died in combat of wounds or while prisoners of war. Another 240,000 Americans survived their wounds. Non-battle deaths climbed to an appalling total of more than 63,000 people. Yet despite the terrible toll, the prevailing mood on November 11th of 1918 was one of unbounded joy. The fighting had ended. In Paris, the church bells tolled Banners fluttered gaily, and total strangers embraced one another fervently. This was an hour of triumph for the victorious Americans of General John Pershing's American Expeditionary Force. They had gone over there, and with the help of their allies, had soundly licked the Kaiser, and they had made the world safe for democracy. And on this memorable day, President Wilson made these memorable remarks. We were able to bring the vast resources, material, and morale of a great and free people to the assistance of our associates in Europe who had suffered and sacrificed without limit in the cause for which they fought. Out of this victory arises new possibilities and political freedom and economic concert. The war showed us the strength of great nations acting together for high purposes, and the victory of arms foretells the enduring conquest that can be made in peace when nations act justly and in the furtherance of the common interest of men. Meanwhile, the nation mourned its World War I dead and gave men who returned a hero's welcome. And on the first anniversary of the signing of the armistice, President Wilson issued a proclamation saying, "To us in America, the reflections of Armistice Day will be filled with solemn pride in the heroism of those who died in the country's service and with gratitude for the victory, both because of the thing which it has freed us and because of the opportunity it has given America to show her sympathy with peace and justice in the councils of the nations." The original concept for the celebration was the suspension of businesses for a 2-minute period beginning at 11 a.m., with the day also marked by parades and public meetings. Armistice Day was designated an official American holiday by presidential proclamation in 1926, and in 1954, the name of the holiday was changed from Armistice Day to Veterans Day, and from that time on, it has been a day for the nation to pause to do honor to all veterans, living and dead, that vast legion of men and women who have served in the armed forces of the United States. The fact that Veterans Day stems from a World War I event by no means detracts from the honor due American veterans of all wars, and of peacetime service as well. Nor does the fact that World War I did not make the world safe for democracy invalidate the faith of those who fought it or demean their courage and sacrifice. Our veterans of every war have fought for the principles they and the entire nation held dear. Americans have never served as mercenaries nor been guided by militaristic thinking. President Wilson's dream of an enduring peace enjoyed by a world of free nations is a noble dream, and it's one worth fighting for. It cannot be realized easily or in the near future. But the veterans of World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, the Cold War, and our post-9/11 veterans help give substance to that dream. Now more than ever, America is proud of its veterans, past, present, and future. The majority of veterans understood the need for their service. They love both freedom and their country. They understood, and they still understand, that freedom has a price tag. It is not free. It must be earned by each generation or will perish. As Thomas Paine put it, those who expect to reap the blessings of freedom must undergo the fatigue of supporting it. The veteran is a constant reminder of this fact. Their presence reminds us of the blessings of their hard-fought, bitter experiences undertaken to protect our way of life. One of the most defining features of service in our military is the chance to work with diverse people of different races, genders, religions, backgrounds, economic status, and geographic origins. In the Army, this is made possible because as soldiers, we live by the values of loyalty, duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity, and personal courage. And they do not leave these behind as their values and skills when they transition to civilian life. Right now, around the country, veterans serve in every conceivable capacity as teachers, doctors, engineers, social workers, community leaders, first responders, and elected officials. They continue to serve our communities by making positive contributions, building stronger futures, and inspiring future generations. As we celebrate Veterans Day, we pause to recognize the brave men and women who have fearlessly and faithfully worked to defend the United States and our freedom. Their devotion to duty and patriotism deserves the respect and admiration of our grateful nation each and every day. We are forever thankful for the many heroes among us who have bravely fought to protect us all. Our nation's veterans throughout history kept us free. They returned home and continue to serve our nation in a multitude of ways. Today, we say thank you to all of them. Thank you again for inviting me here today. Thank you to our veterans, and thank you all for your service.
Thank you, sir, for those very inspiring words. In closing out today's ceremony, I want to thank everyone for viewing, whether in person or virtually. Veterans Day is a great holiday, just not because I'm a veteran myself, it's because it honors everyone of us who served, the sacrifices we've all had to undertake, whether it's being away from family, for the birth of children, the death of loved ones, just the selfless service that all veterans take. I want to say thank you. I hope everyone in attendance today and viewing enjoyed today's ceremony. Please stand with me for the benediction.
Well, it has been said that greater love has no person than laying down their life for friends. Laying down your life, sacrificing time with family and friends, and serving this country in the benefit of others around the world. That takes some special courage, not to be overlooked and not to be undervalued. Though not all of us in this nation will know the life of a soldier, we have all experienced the blessing of a soldier through the freedom we enjoy. So I say thank you again for your service. We honor you today. And may you receive these words as a blessing. May you be filled with peace for the days gone by. May hope and love fill your hearts for the days ahead. And may there continue to be liberty and justice.